Funny.
Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. It is time for Moon Shadows, Moon Shadows. I'm here with our favorite Chicago gal, Ona. Hi, Ona.
Hi, hi, hi. How are you doing?
Good, good. Considering pretty good.
I know you
Um,
had a crappy morning in the rain.
I see you have your guardian there,
Yeah,
guardian
he's just
jealous.
gonna cry like I'm super mean, and he starts yelling at me, you know, unless I pay attention to him. So he knows when I'm on the camera for some reason. He wants to be in front of it as well. Because I know I keep treats on the table when he's with me, and he remembers that, I guess.
So what you're saying is he's been trained? Is that what you're saying
Because she's been trained to
for
be
this
a bad dog.
activity?
He's been trained to be a bad dog. You see, he's even tucking his face and like, yep, I've been trained to be a bad dog.
Am I good, mommy? I'm being bad. So are you telling me that you like bad boys? Is that what you're telling me, Ona?
Oh yeah. Yeah. He knows all my secrets. I kissed him on New Year's Eve.
So we're going to be looking at the new moon in Aries, which happens to be also a total solar eclipse, which happens to be having its path of totality over the middle of the United States. So there's all kinds of stuff we can look at with this energy of the new moon. Of course, new moons are always times of new beginnings, and when you add the nodes of the moon to these new beginnings, it really is. Um, it's kind of like getting get you when they put the paddles on you. It's like whoop, and you're like
Hmm.
that's kind of the energy. And we happen to be doing
Yeah.
this incidentally, because of your schedule and my schedule. We're actually doing this 4 days ahead of time. What am I talking about? Ahead of time. And today is the 4/4 portal. Today is the 4th of April. And of course, 4 and the 8 universal year means that today is vibrating to a 16/7, which is the tower. And so I have my my lightning flash up there, and I have my Aries painting over here for the um Aries new moon. So um
I have a bubble wrap jumpsuit that I'm gonna put on if I have to leave the house again.
yeah, you've been having
For food.
some intermittent electrical issues, it seems, in your life. Things working, not working, then working, and then other
Yeah,
things.
weird little portal cards, you know, my wipers didn't work and it was raining. My radio wasn't working. So I went to come back and everything started to work, but the street lights stopped working and then my debit card wasn't working. I mean, I really passed through a portal. I really feel like my ears were ringing, something was coming.
Yeah,
And it
well,
felt
it's
like that burning rubber, kind of like a fuel fire sort of thing.
yeah, so we'll have to keep our eyes peeled for any incidences of that nature, but
Sort of want to blame it on Mercury. You're like, oh, you're teasing me again here. So stop.
Mercury retrograde in Aries, of course.
But
Yep.
Mercury's a little more subtle than that.
I don't think there's anything subtle about Aries, though. I think Aries can be, like a laser beam, I guess, but oftentimes Aries acts like a club. Um, there is the caveman aspect to Aries. If anyone's dated one, they understand what I'm talking about. And not all Aries, of course. There are more erudite and refined Aries. Those are the Aries that are interesting to know. Uh, the cavemen, maybe not so much, but that would be another discussion for another day.
I could see that. It does feel like that. I have an Aries moon. I can come down hard.
I love Aries moon.
Yeah.
It's almost one of my favorite moon signs. Mostly because, as a Cancer, with the moon in Pisces, I'm not quite as directive as you might think I am. I sort of go with the flow of things. And those Aries moon people really they don't really, I wouldn't say they hold my feet to the fire, but they're exciting for me. They're like, wow, they're doing that and they're trying that. I love
Yeah.
that Aries moon energy. You're always willing to at least try it,
Yeah.
like there's very little that you would not that you fear to initiate,
Yeah.
I think, when you have that Aries moon. So, but of course, you also have that practical sun in Capricorn, which probably saves you more pain than you know.
I hope so, because this kind of this energy with this new moon, it's intense, but you don't want to scare people. But I think it'd be a good idea to keep a focus journal or something, something that keep track of the things that are signaling
Yes.
kind
Yeah.
of
Be aware of your environment to the best of your ability.
yeah,
We're in a period of instant manifestation, really, especially with the year vibration being an 8 and the vibration of as you sow, so shall you reap. So not only are things manifesting now that have been in the sort of like being developing since 2017 when we went into the 1 year, uh, but also because we're in this manifestation year, it's actually things we're doing right now manifest almost immediately. And I know that there's a lot of fear around this. This new moon is mainly not so much the new moon, but it's the eclipse. The eclipse is going across America. A lot of people are going to see the eclipse. There's a lot of hype around the eclipse, and some of that is fearful hype. And certainly, if we look around at the world, we know that things are changing. We see things that we see almost every place you look. There's an eruption of something that wants to be born, very much Aries, but because
yeah.
Aries, as I said, sometimes is like a club. It's like as it's coming up and out, it's like bang, 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 bang. So it's easy
That's a
enough
good
to be,
point, right? If you're looking for something bad to happen, or you think it might, you'll find it.
oh, it'll be
You'll
attracted
find it,
right to
right?
you,
It'll come
right
right to
to you.
you. But
Yep.
if you think of it as like, it's something new, it's something that's going to happen. It's some time for you to focus and think about, you know, spring or whatever. It's different. It doesn't have to be. It's highly superstitious where I work. The
Well,
eclipse.
and
Who wants to
for
work that
goodness
day?
sakes, you think about our ancestors going along, and all of a sudden, day is night, and night is, it's like all of a sudden the sun goes away. The life giver, the thing that comes up every day, is now obscured.
Yeah.
And then there's like this big, like shiny orb, and things are dark, and the birds go to bed, and then they wake up such a short period of time. It's understandable, and there's still some of that. I think it's important at these times to connect with that ancestral energy, um, in a way, and yet hold, so connect to that, but also hold the new awareness that you have, the scientific stuff. You were saying that you've been spending a lot of time looking at more of the scientific stuff around the eclipses,
Yeah,
because
I just
it,
want to see like the 3D kind of how it actually works. And then it's easier for me to make a connection to,
yeah,
what's going.
it's like you probably already feeling it in your gut with, Moon and Aries, right? You're feeling it in your body, in your gut, and you're trying to inform your mind in a way. And so let's inform people's minds and their hearts
Yeah.
and themselves. All right, I'm gonna pull up a screen here and we can take a look at this eclipse. All right. I'm going to just make this a little bigger so we can see it better.
I am gonna do a video. There's a big party at the Adler Planetarium
Sarah.
that day, which would be like the coolest place to be. But I think I'm gonna be on the roof. Just go there.
Yeah, assuming you're not in a snowstorm like you were yesterday, right?
Supposed to snow again today, maybe, and that should be it, right?
You asking me?
It was like Christmassy weather yesterday. Slushy snow. It was so weird.
Yeah, we just had a rain and a lot of wind.
Yeah.
A lot of winds. Yeah. All right. So this is just the eclipse chart with the Aries rising. So it's not specific for any particular place. I just sort of wanted to point out that this eclipse is exactly conjunct Chiron. And of course, the United States Chiron is at 21 degrees of Aries. This is 20 degrees of Aries. And so we're going to be having our Chiron, the first hit of our Chiron return in 2024 on the 20th of April, which is from today, that's 16 days away. 16 being the tower vibration. We can sort of see all this stuff sort of congealing and coming together. And that 20th day of I believe the 20th, let's see, that's 24 and 8 is 32, right? So talk about number magic, right? We're here on the 4-4 portal. In 16 days, we're going to have our Chiron return. 16 is the number of the tower. We have the tower today, and right, and then we have Chiron. With this, we're talking about this new moon with Chiron, right? But the day of our Chiron return happens to be a 32.5 vibration, and 32.5 is the shadow vibration of the United States. And so this is
So wands
real.
are 5 of Wands.
Hmm?
Is
Six
that
of Wands.
is a 6 of Wands? Okay.
6 of Wands. And today, and the eighth is, you know what's funny? I didn't put the tarot card up. It's 8 and 8 is 16 and 4. Oh, 20 over 2. So
Oh, judgment.
this is
Okay.
this is only the final judgment, right? The judgment card.
Yeah, no, that's not worse.
Raising up Pluto, right? Pluto. So to say that, to just like, and that's all a lot of like, if you can follow it, great. If you can't follow it, you can't follow it. But what it really means is
Yeah.
like that's the energy, right? That's
Yeah.
the energy. And what do we do with this? What do we do with it? So we have the new moon, so total solar eclipse at 20 of Aries. I love the symbol for 20 of Aries. A young girl feeding birds in winter. Says seeing life as a constant opportunity to experience love. There's a message for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Life's very harshness is what enables us to learn love's unfathomable. Can you say that?
Yeah, we're unfathomable.
Thank you. Depth. Being innocent and fearless in love.
Yeah.
And so that is the way we approach this eclipse. Innocent and fearless in love. And then, of course, I look to Mars because Mars is the ruler of Aries and it's significant. And when we go to where Mars is, it's at 14 degrees of Pisces. A lady in a fox fur, using glamour as a shield. The real purpose is not revealed, but their glamour, by their glamour, but the real person is. protect yourself from unwanted intrusive energies. And so while we are moving through this time with an innocence and a love and seeing it as just a deeper opportunity to love even more deeply, we can't necessarily come across that way. We have to be able to
Mhm.
sort of disguise in a way our appearance so people or how we sort of approach this so people don't feel immediately defensive. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
then to really be who you truly are. This picture next to the chart is the path of totality across the United States, right? So this is the place, and you are right about, whoops, where's my cursor? Somebody complained that my cursor is too small, but I don't have a
Oh,
bigger cursor. So this is it. You're right
yeah.
about here, right?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
there.
We're gonna have like, I think they said 94. I might be wrong. 94%. It seems like a lot. It seems like a lot to me,
You
but
will definitely, no, you definitely, yeah, it's pretty, even we're gonna see, I don't know if it's 90, but I think it maybe 80 or 70. It's pretty, we're definitely seeing it more than we saw the one in 2007 here,
yeah.
than we saw the one in 2017. And if we look at this one, this is the 2017 eclipse, and this is the eclipse that's happening now.
Okay.
And this is X marks the spot, and it's right at the bottom of Illinois. We're
Yeah.
Illinois,
Carbondale.
Missouri, what is that? Kentucky, Tennessee, and I can't read that. What does that say?
It's populated. It's gonna be that whole,
Indiana,
yeah.
Indiana. Um, yeah, so this is how it affects the United States sort of geographically. Um, it's as if instead of being cut in half, the United States is made into four pieces. But it's interesting because the cross is really, in the Native American tradition, right, is where the good red road and the blue road of spirit, right, and the red road of earth meet. It's almost like
Yep.
a medicine wheel. And if we look at this chart, this is actually for the United States. Uh, and of course, we live in the United States, so we want to know. But all of this is happening in the ninth house, and the ninth house is foreign places. It's also legal. It's also like judges and things like that. So we can expect to hear some judge things, some legal things, maybe some Supreme Court decisions at this time. Uh, of course, foreign aid is a big thing, especially around war and arming. I know that I believe Joe Biden just sent more arms to Israel, even after what happened
Nice.
with World Central Kitchen.
And then,
I think that
oh, great.
I think yeah, I think that's an important event, so to speak, a terrible, awful, horrible, despicable event, but it's those kinds of things that make people turn in a new direction, and hopefully that will be
And
the case.
the ruler of the ninth house is in an earth sign right now, Jupiter, and it's conjunct Uranus.
The ruler of the ninth house,
Of the
yeah,
ninth.
yes, but in this one, of course, it's Aries, right? So it's Mars, and we have
Oh,
Mars.
okay.
Well, no, in this chart, but you are right because
For the
the
United
ninth house
States.
is a Jupiter house,
Yeah.
and we can take that in consideration. Jupiter in Taurus,
Uh,
food,
oh,
right?
see, you know what? That might be that signature kind of, food famine, note that
Yes, and I believe I don't have the chart, but maybe we can pull it up when I get into a different place on my computer. I believe Ceres is square the nodes in this eclipse. And Ceres is the goddess of the grain. And she's in Capricorn, I believe.
Oh, some things have been suspended. Their mission is suspended for now, or are they gonna keep going?
No, the mission is they stopped. They stopped. They said we can't bring food. If we can't be safe, we can't put our people in there. And so the people who are starving are starving. Um, we have the interesting thing is that there's not a lot of other things going on here, right? We have all this conjunction here, right? Mercury is retrograde. We also have Mars and Saturn coming closer together. They're going to be making a conjunction, I believe, either a day or so later after this eclipse. And that's always significant. I believe the conjunction happens at 15 or 16 of Pisces. I can't remember off the top of my head. But if anybody wants to know, I do have it in my, I
That'll be
believe,
later this month. It'll be soon.
yeah, it's just a couple of days after, I think, the eclipse on I'm thinking it might be the 9th or the 10th. But there's a lot of one of the other things about this eclipse is the amount of conjunctions that we have. And whenever you have conjunctions, it's about power. So we have Uranus and Jupiter in the 10th house here. This is the house of the president, actually. We have the conjunction of Mercury, Chiron, the sun, the moon, and the north node. That's all conjunct. This
There
is
is there
wide,
too.
but and it's Mercury to the node is wide, but Mercury is moving retrograde, so it's actually moving toward the node in a way. We have a Venus Neptune conjunction here. This just happened yesterday on the 3rd. And then on the 4th, tonight at, mind you, here on the East Coast, which would be like Washington, D.C. is also the East Coast. So you go by that time. Venus goes into Aries at 11:59 and 56 seconds p.m. tonight. Goes into Aries. Where you are, it'll go into
This is
Aries.
April 8th. Yeah.
It'll go into Aries tonight at like 11, right? For you.
Okay, good. I
Yeah.
got a Venus altar ready for her.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. So,
Good.
and she's powerfully placed in Aries, right? She's in Aries. She's putting on her armor, and she is the goddess of love. The goddess of love is on the warpath.
She's got her calculator with her too, I think.
You think?
Pretty sure.
So whenever you have all this, like
Yeah.
these conjunctions, it's just power on power on power on power, and a blending of energies. And all this energy moving in the direction of Aries is asking us really to sort of do things in a new way. Here's the chart on the United States chart. We can see that this whole on the Sibley chart, right, which is the 1776 chart. There's a number of charts. This is the one that I tend to use most
Yeah.
often. And it's in the 4th house. The 4th house is the homeland. You know, this is a lot of Aries energy, and there is some shadowy stuff here because we have Chiron, and it's on the Chiron of the United States. This is all getting activated in the 4th house. So we do have to be very aware of our surroundings at this time, because
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
even if you're coming from your best, most authentic and loving place, there are
Right.
people who don't know that that's even an option, and they're going to be coming from their wounded place. And so you need to keep your eyes open and be aware of your environment. And if it feels like it's not a good idea to be someplace, or don't let like your worry about disappointing somebody or how will it look or any of that stuff get in your way. This is
Yeah,
a time when we really have to go by our gut, our gut instincts. That's what Aries is asking us to do. What are your instincts on this, you know?
yeah.
So
I
I think
would
that,
say, speaking from my own Chiron return, I think things will be addressed that you were in denial about.
um,
What do you think? With like
yeah,
with the
I mean, you
eclipse and
something about yourself that you don't want to look at can be right in your face. And it may be right in your face in the guise of another person, because we do learn about ourselves through our relationships. So be aware of what the people who you're relating to at this time are are reflecting back to you. And oftentimes it comes as an irritation, right? Like, oh, this person is really pissing me off, or this person is really, if you can get in a place where you're not getting angry because people are being a certain way that you don't necessarily agree with, and you can get into a more sort of neutral
yeah.
space, and in that neutrality, I feel like you can bring the love in then, right?
Mm.
Um, I do want to point out that the South Node is on the Saturn of the United States in this
And
chart.
that's significant.
And you know, Saturn in Libra in that 10th house is the rule of law. Another reason why I think there's going to be some things coming down
Yeah.
through the courts,
Yeah. And I
and
think that
maybe an
would make
executive
some
order.
people who were in denial more aware of the truth.
Yes, 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 yes. And I think that can be applied to
Mhm.
many different places
Yep.
on the planet
Right.
without saying where, who, and anything like that. Without pointing fingers,
No,
I think
because
we all understand.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ona, let's why don't we pull some cards? Do you have any cards there that you want to
I have, which ones did I have out? Oh, I had I had, they're pretty direct, but I'll grab my mom's side too.
why don't you bring your Aries thing and show people your Aries?
This is my Aries tonal here. Another one is the Aries glyph.
I love that.
I always try to stick the planet in there too, so there's little Marses. Hey, there's nothing wrong with going back to the basics and, making the connection with the colors and putting, completing that wedge because it puts you into that space.
I have a couple of crystals for the while you pull. I have a couple of crystals for the altar
What
that
are we
came to
asking?
me. I think uh I think hematite is important. I think staying grounded right now is important, even though you might think you don't want to be, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
had I had pulled this to stand on my smoky quartz sphere. I also got that feeling too that this was there's something taking shape. And the crystals I'm thinking about all are shaped into a sphere or a cube, or there's more force dimension on it. Mm,
I have I have
mm,
some Apache tear here, some obsidian. Obsidian is a protective stone, so
yeah.
it actually will absorb negativity. So if you have it around you, it would absorb the negativity around you and not have it affect you. Um, it's also volcanic. And didn't we just have an earthquake, right? An earthquake. And then also I was reading something about a volcanic eruption under the ocean that did something that did something that it was like the most, or I think it was off. I don't know where. I think it was off in Indonesia, that area. I don't know.
There's a vague memory, and all I
Or
can
in the
think of is
Pacific
Vesuvius,
somewhere.
because
Huh?
that
What?
Vesuvius,
No, it wasn't Vesuvius, but there's that. There's Etna. Etna's always puffing away. That's a very active.
I don't know, but yeah, with these kinds of energies pulling at the earth, I think, especially with Jupiter and Uranus and Taurus, I mean, I can't stop thinking that, I guess, is the changes in the earth, that
Yes.
it needs to settle and shift.
That conjunction between Uranus and Taurus
Yeah.
happens on the United States Chiron return on that day, the 20th. It's also the Chiron return.
Okay.
I mean, it's just
Yeah.
definitely something, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. What are we asking the cards?
what we need to be aware of around this eclipse.
Okay.
Advice
Okay.
for the eclipse. I like to leave it open like that, but I got a new deck too. I just to see what I'm looking for.
Jumped right the fuck out. Okay. Oh, sorry.
No,
I just
that's okay. It's all right.
my
Everything's in Aries. If you don't at least drop one F-bomb, it's not real.
YouTube demerits on that one.
I will drop one soon too. Don't worry. I'm sure something will come out of my mouth. It always does. I've actually been cursing a lot like a sailor of late.
Right with
So
that. Whatever's kind of flipping around.
I got a new deck. It's called I used it for my 4/4 portal reading. Gateway of Light Activation Oracle. That's a mouthful.
You have to learn a lot. There's like is it a whole different system? Did she add extra cards?
They're just Oracle cards, so I don't know how
Oh,
many. Let me see. Usually it's 44. Yeah, 44.
uh,
44 cards. Says this powerful deck bridges the realms of the next, depicting 44 windows and stargates for energetic travel through time and space. You'll discover how to connect with the divine guidance and ancient wisdom of spiritual retreat spaces, guardian light beings, and your own chakra energy. That's what it says. So
I picked up a Kuan Yin deck. It's right here, actually. I wonder if I should, it was in between the equinox. Let me go here. It's around the full moon. Maybe it was around the full moon. And there's just that energy was like, the same kind of thing. Like I need to sort of focus on honing in on one thing. So this is what we picked up on was Kuan Yin. So let's see. The tarot cards are interesting.
well, you're gonna share, or we gonna just
Yeah. The first one was Knight of Swords.
okay.
So what do we need to be careful of during this eclipse time? And Knight of Swords is, the throat, what you're saying, it's an air sign. So maybe being too brash, or I pull that card for myself all the time. So I'll tell you exactly what it means. Watch your mouth. It means watch your mouth for me. Because I tend to, say just what's on my mind without.
That's that Aries moon, darling. You know.
Okay. And then I got the Six of Swords. So,
Oh, that's That's not bad. I like that.
Yeah, that is, focus maybe, then you'll be able to move on. Judgment card. So what day was the judgment
Oh,
day?
Judgment Day is
I have to look at my
which day was
right
Judgment?
tower right now. Sunday, Monday? That's probably the frickin' eclipse day.
No, oh yeah, it's the eclipse day.
Okay,
That's right.
so
There's the eclipse day right
this is
there.
eclipse day. That's the 20/2
The
eclipse day.
judgment.
What we need to watch out for. And look, the Ace of Cups. So new emotional beginnings, this could be an emotional time. Mars is in Pisces, so it kind of makes sense, right?
Right. And the symbol of facing the world with innocence and love, right? Like the whole idea of the
Yeah.
child feeding the birds.
And I like that. So I kind of stopped there. And the bottom of the deck was the chariots. So happening during the sequence of eclipse that um you learn to discern.
Okay. And then I'll see what you got with the Kuan Yin. I
Yeah.
got the Pleiadian activation card.
Interesting.
Pleiadian activation card. Of course, the Pleiades are in the last degrees of Taurus, right?
Uh-huh.
Says the Pleiades, also known as the Seven Sisters, is an open star cluster found in the northwest of the constellation Taurus. These bright blue luminous stars, which formed in the last 100 million years, are among the stars closest to Earth and are the cluster most obvious to the naked eye. It is for this reason that they have been connected to many spiritual traditions throughout the ages. In fact, do you know that Subaru is the what do you call name for the Seven Sisters for the Pleiades?
Yeah, and the old insignia for Subaru was the 7 stars shooting out. Yeah, that's interesting. It's
The
interesting.
gate.
It's
Go
like
ahead.
these star clusters, Palladians and Sirians and stuff. It's almost like when there was it's sort of an extinction, all these souls were guided through this one portal, right? And sort of are part of that now. And when they come back around and swing around, that energy is more palpable. And the people that really can connect to the Palladian archetype talk about it more.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Um, Says this gateway transports us to a space where we can witness the great coming together of the Pleiades. Each and every single star within the cluster is representative of a nation of divine beings. The Pleiadians are said to be human-like beings who honor the feminine and live in an advanced way, a more advanced way than we do on Earth. Earth could also experience if we were to accept and honor the holiness of the female body. Um, if we were to be able to travel to the Pleiades in the third dimensional world, we would not find these beings. However, for
mhm.
they have transcended into the physical state and operate on a higher vibration. I believe the Pleiades are on the fifth dimension. Fifth dimension. It says here, Pleiadian energy is about coming together in peace and harmony. You are blessed to receive this gateway, for it is a powerful message of assurance that whatever uncomfortable energy you are experiencing right now will soon be washed away. Saturn and Pisces, perhaps. The Pleiadians are beings who live in complete honor of their planets and their people. They acknowledge that in seeing and connecting with one another, they have an opportunity to see the experiences of the divine. They also know the consequences of disrespecting others, for it is this reason that this is no longer possible for them. So
Yeah,
they've transcended what we are struggling with now.
interesting. My Kuan card is Bamboo Moon.
Oh, that's beautiful.
They are, and when I saw the deck, and it was, after following her lead for a few days, as she became more mentioned this, I'm like, well, the art is really cool on this deck, and it was worth the $24.95. I started to read it, and read the book, and honestly, I fell asleep. I'm not gonna lie. Bamboo Moon. There are no mistakes in the universe, and all events, circumstances, relationships, and situations are unfolding in perfection with the timing and intelligence of the divine plan, your divine plan. An apparent delay is in your favor. If something is happening if something is happening for you right now, then that is perfect too. Divine timing is perfection. It's safe to trust this now. You see, put her under. So cycles of reflection and healing under the bamboo moon, and then there's a fast growth opportunity, basically. And that's a springtime kind of thing. So if there's a prayer for her mantra is always part of the understanding this deck and its energy. And it's saying a prayer for fast growth, the bamboo moon, which we know grows fast.
Yes. Yes. Fast growth.
Aries may as well be fast. That's how the energy is right now. It's,
This is the card I picked, the Red Queen.
yep,
What are you wearing?
crimson.
What am I wearing?
It's red. Red. It is that feeling. This is the Aries thing, that there's such a Pisces flavor to it. It's almost purple.
Yes. That color always reminds me of Capricorn. The crimson, the red, like the maroon and stuff. That color always reminds me
Yeah,
of
darn it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just going to see what Red Queen says here in this little book here. This other one is from the Mystic Sisters. I figure when we're together, we should always pull a Mystic Sister oracle. Caution and ambition. The Red Queen solemnly crosses the threshold towards her chosen destination. She has checked her strengths, weaknesses, and personal initiative thoroughly, and believes she now has the inner resources to move forward. She recalls a time in the past when she had set herself a goal but fell short. She was not aware of the level of responsibility and persistence the challenge would require. Now her inner capabilities are fully developed and she cautiously moves forward. Drawing this card advises you that solid achievements are now possible, but exercise self-care and assess your own needs and abilities along the path towards success. And that's the message
That's
from the
interesting.
Mystic Sisters.
And Aries is all ruled in the head. So
Yeah, watch your head. Watch your head, and if you get a headache and stuff, make sure you give yourself the time. That could be information. Sometimes headaches, especially migraines, if you're likely to get those, require you to sort of stop and you want the migraine is energy coming in trying to inform you of something. You have
and
to clear
they're
yourself.
directly related to barometric pressure.
Oh, sure.
It's directly related to the vibration, the pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense to try and correct it, that's for sure.
So I noticed that Jibs is quiet.
Yeah, because he sat on my lap yeah, he's sleeping over there.
Yeah, he needed mommy time.
He
I mean,
always,
this is hitting his moon too, you know.
I know. See, he always, I'll show you, he's sleeping down there. See?
Oh, yeah.
Her-
Yeah.
That's all he does. But when, you know, when the camera's on, he knows he can get what he wants because I just want him to show.
Well, that, and I think he has a fan base, and it's always better when we get to see Jibs. So we're gonna have to
Yeah,
share the spotlight, you know.
I gotta do something. I'm working this weekend, but we went Easter Sunday completely flew by. Like we have to do something, and I'll get a little video of us walking. There's almost no audio when it's so windy out. You
I
can't
know.
hear anything.
I
So
know.
I'm erasing everything. Nothing.
Well, you do live in the Windy City, darling.
It very much is.
Is there anything else that's coming to mind that you think might be helpful at this time?
I think it just you know, that there's don't be worried about it, don't be afraid about over it, but you know, keep an active awareness. And you will anyway, because nobody forgets the eclipse, you know, and kind of where you were the last time and everything. But I think a little bit more awareness of um the energies that are trying to give you messages.
Yeah, and I would say it's important to be careful. As important is as important to be careful as it is not to be afraid, because we chose this time. We chose to be here at this time, and we will have, when we get to the, like, eclipses open a doorway, and it's scary when you don't know what, you know, anytime you walk in, if you're walking into a new building or a new situation, it's always a little scary, but
Mhm.
we
Yeah, it's
it's a must.
disorienting for
We
sure.
don't want to be, we don't want to live the life that we're seeing necessarily around us. Then we have to make a different choice, right? If
Mhm.
what you're seeing, and everything on the outside is an expression of what's on the inside. And so the real key is to attend to your own shadow wounds. Attend, you know, Aries is the I am, and this is a time when you can bring that I am mantra in. So whatever it is that you want to be, I am love, I am peace, I am abundance, I am harmony, I am safe, I am, whatever it is that you can use that I am energy to attract into your life that which you want.
Yep.
And sort of drop the stuff that describes who you were, who you've been, and who you no longer want to be.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a moment of reverence for sure. Even if there's clouds and even if you can't see it, you'll see pictures of it, and there is a moment of reverence in
And
that.
you'll feel it. You will definitely feel it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, everyone, as always, such a pleasure to be with you, Ona,
Thank
on
you.
this very powerful new moon video. And we will see each other again on your
Yep.
moonshine episode.
Yep. That'll be
We might need some actual moonshine for that one, though. I we'll have to see how this new moon goes. Two
it'll
weeks
be good.
later, we'll
It'll be
see.
good. It's a good thing. It's, you know, and it's change, and change is scary. Things are different, but just remember that, you know, you have to change. I mean, it's it's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Have a safe and blessed and wonderful eclipse, because I know we will. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Namaste.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm a little. Oh no, I gotta do this. Okay, wait a minute.